Hi tenors, we're going to be working on the voice of harmony together. I think you'll enjoy it. It's a really pretty tenor part, although I tend to think all tenor parts are pretty. And it stays mainly in our tenor tessitura, but it does go down a little bit with the lead, or goes into lead territory for a little bit in the backup. So we'll talk about that. We'll look at the accidentals that take place in this part. And then we'll especially be keeping in mind that this song is very conversational. So we're thinking about how the lyrics drive the interpretation of this song. But we're also going to be very aware, of course, of the notes on the page, especially with all the embellishments that take place, mainly in the bass section. So sometimes we will be embellishing with the basses, and sometimes we will be providing that space and growth for the other parts to embellish as well. And we'll look at all of those parts together. So I will warn you right now, I am a loud tenor. Sing loudly with me, tenors. Let's be strong. We got this, okay? So this is in the key of B flat, and we are starting on the 4th note of the scale, which I like to remember with Here Comes the Bride. So the B flat is blown and E flat is what we will start on. So again, keep in mind, very conversational. Let's just look at this first line together. Our hopes and our ideals are set forth in this single wish. So you can hear our first accidental happens on ideals. That nice B natural, so just be aware of that. And then of course the bass has a move on single, so we'll all be kind of going with them as they do that slide. And then on wish, we have a little bit of contrary motion with the basses. So on wish, we start on an octave with them, and then we move. They move to the G, we move up to the B natural. So just be aware of that. You are on an octave with the basses, and then you're going to embellish with them. All right? So let's do that line again. Ready? Our hopes and our ideals are set forth in this single wish. All right, and then the next line we will be starting where we left off. So we just left off on a B natural. We're going to start on a B natural, and I'm going to play this line for you first. There are a lot of accidentals. We move down into lead territory a little bit. So let's just listen for a second, starting at May All of Us Be Drawn. So you can hear a lot of accidentals. We're moving down and then back up. And also we need to be aware on sound that the basses and baritones are moving together. And then on harmony, we have another place where we are on an octave with the basses, harmony, and then we move up to the C, and the basses move down to the A, and the baritones are moving with us as well. So be aware of that bass tenor octave and the movement. I always want to move to the B natural instead of the C on that. So just be aware it's a whole step, not a half step. I'm sure you don't have that problem at all. It's all in my head, I know. So let's, may all of us be drawn together. We're on that B natural that we just left on wish. May all of us be drawn together by the golden sound of harmony. So again, you can feel that it flows, and also we're really aware of those embellishments. So again, on this next line, we're going to start where we left off. So we left off on harmony E, and then on the true, we're going to start on that same note, and then we're going to go back to that B natural accidental expression of singing, and then up just another half step, the pure, and then we stay on that C sharp, artistry of, and then we have a nice little walk up, under, and then down to this. So we have that D, E natural. This is usual tenor territory, lots of accidentals, and we do it with aplomb, All right, so let's go to the true expression of singing, and especially on the word expression, what an expressive word, right? So we're definitely using the word sounds there. The true expression of singing, the pure artistry of understanding. Ooh, and you really need to have a good tank of air for that. Obviously, don't tank up to where it's tense, but just make sure you take a nice breath, nice, easy, relaxed breath before the true expression of singing. Okay, and then we have understanding. And then once again, we will start where we left off. We left off on that E flat, and that's where we're starting on and the universal. And I'm just gonna play that for you first. And the universal. Now here we have 3 different embellishments happening in different parts. So on the universal love, that's a baritone bass. We're going to be really aware of them. And then on the mu part, that's going to be lead and baritone moving. And again, we're going to be just aware of what's going on with that and providing that space and lift for them. And then on zik, we have a bass baritone move. And on the first part of zik, you are once again on an octave with the basses until they move up to that F. All right? So, and the universal. And the universal love of music. So just be aware of those beautiful embellishments happening around you and create the space there. And then last part is may we be the voice of harmony. Oh, love that. May we be the voice. So that wonderful D flat, which is actually another octave with the bass. May we be the voice of harm, right there, harm, and then to that lovely D natural on the end, right? Most of the movement in this tag is really dictated by the bass. They have the most interesting part, they have the stuff that's, they have the embellishment and things that are moving around. So be really aware of the bass as you're singing this part of the tag, or this tag. So may we be the voice of harmony. And there's the whole song. I really hope you enjoy learning it. I know you have the learning tracks for this, and I really appreciate you coming and learning it with me. So be ready to sing with the rest of Sweet Adelines as we learn this song together. And thank you for spending a little time with me.